We are now going to take on aspects of style, and we'll begin with 21. With 1. The speaker's diversion from the subject to address a dead or distant thing as if it were present or as if it were a human being that can respond. A dead or absent thing, not a human being, is known as, the answer will be apostrophe. If the question were the giving of human qualities to inanimate objects and things, then the answer will be personification. Here, apostrophe, the difference between apostrophe and personification is that in apostrophe, it is an address. In personification, it is the giving of the attribution of human qualities. 2. The literary confession of inability or personal shortcomings which demands superior inspirational force and arrests the audience's attention. The literary confession of inability, shortcoming, which demands some inspiration and arrests the audience's attention, is known as apologia. 3. The combination of contrasting words put together close to one another in order to emphasize an idea or to depict a contradictory emotion. Contradictory. Oxymoron. The sentence, saints resort to the massacre of the people. Saints resort to the massacre of the people. It's an example of what type of sentence. It's a contradictory statement. You cannot be a saint and you are massacring people, you are killing. That would be a paradox. The use of negative statement about someone that may be suggested or implied rather than being directly stated. A negative statement about someone that may be suggested or implied rather than being stated directly is called innuendo. Next, 6. It is a use of comparison which is suggested and not stated. It is suggested. The comparison is suggested and not stated. The answer will be metaphor. What is the difference between metaphor and simile? A simile is a direct comparison with the use of as or like. My head, the woman's head, was as large as coconut. That's a simile. But if I said, when the goal was scored, the crowd roared. Here I'm using a metaphor. I'm comparing the crowd to an animal which roars, and that is the lion, because of a similarity. Next, one of the following is not a comparative device. We have metonymy, simile, metaphor, contrast. Simile is a comparative device. Metaphor is a comparative device. Contrast is a comparative device. The answer will be metonymy. The mental association or emotional response that a word suggests, which is not part of the usual meaning. It is not part of the usual meaning. It's known as connotation. The placing of opposite ideas and characteristics in a direct contrast with each other to elucidate a hidden fact. The placing of ideas or characteristics in direct contrast with each other to elucidate a hidden fact is known as antithesis. Next, the use of words or expression which are obsolete in order to render them intellectual. Obsolete means old, no longer in use, is known as archaism. Next, The deliberate use of words or expression that is open to more than one interpretation to test the reader's follow-up of the writer's thought, subjected to more than one interpretation, is known as ambiguity. Next, one of the following is not a device that deals with repetition. One of the following is not a device that deals with repetition. Enjambment, consonance, alliteration, anaphora. Anaphora is, alliteration is, consonance is. The answer is enjambment. Next, it is the use of informal conversational expression in writing, which is mostly cultural or locally bound. Cultural or locally bound is known as colloquialism. Why is it different from a proverb? A proverb is known, can be understood by a particular cultural environment. Next, the following is not an aspect of figurative device. An aspect of figurative device, figure of speech. We have pun, euphemism, apostrophe, contrast. Pun is, euphemism is, apostrophe is, and the odd answer is contrast. One of the following is not a pair in reinforcing meaning. Irony and paradox, apostrophe and personification, suspense and retrospection, rhyme and rhythm, in reinforcing meaning, suspense and retrospection. The line, next, the line. Food feeds the body. Facts feed the soul. Food feeds the body. Facts feed the soul is an example use of parallelism. Next, it is the representation of a thing by something else that it is closely associated to. A representation of a thing by something else. Answer, metonymy. Next, one of the following devices does not deal with association of words. Association of words. Antithesis, metaphor, paradox, metonymy. The answer is metaphor. The statement, when the team lost the match, the spectators grunted, is an example use of metaphor. And lastly, flashback is effective only when the answer will be when it relates with what is happening in the present. Thank you for watching.